Hello my dear friends, welcome to all of you on my channel The Fight Yourself. Iowa earned a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1992. What the Hawkeyes didn't receive was a comfortable path on their way to the national championship game. If Caitlinclark and company are to return to the NCAA final, they'll have to get through the most difficult region in the bracket. 5 teams in the Albany II region were ranked in the top 3 of the AP Top 25 at some point during the regular season, and a 6th, Louisville, has made the Elite 8 in each of the last 5 NCAA tournaments under coach Jeff Walz. Whoever emerges out of this corner of the bracket will be battle-tested. Assuming Iowa gets past the winner of the play-in game between number 16 seeds Holy Cross and UT Martin. With all due respect to the Crusaders and the Skyhawks, the second round has been a bugaboo for the Hawkeyes the last 2 years. They lost 64-62 to Creighton, which awaits as a Nunchi 7 seed and potential Elite 8 opponent in 2022, and they led Georgia by just 2 points with less than a minute to play in 2023 before winning. Number 8 seed West Virginia wouldn't be the toughest opponent considering Iowa's low turnover rate and Clark's dexterity as a ball handler. However, 9th seeded Princeton is a disciplined, methodical team that could slow the tempo and frustrate the Hawkeyes as the Tigers have done to Power 5 opponents in previous tournament appearances. The road doesn't get easier in the Sweet 16. Number 5 seed Colorado or number 12 seed Drake would be the preferred opponent, as Iowa took down a similar Buffaloes team in this round of the 2023 tournament, and Iowa plays and beats the Bulldogs every season. However, the favorite to break through is number 4 seed Kansas State. The Wildcats have defeated the Hawkeyes each of the last 2 seasons and frustrated Clark in the process. In 3 games, 2 of which were Kansas State wins, Clark has shot 25 of 74 and 33.8% from the field and 11 of 29 and 28.2% on threes. That suffocating perimeter defense combined with Ioka Lee controlling the paint has been a problem. Because the selection committee typically tries to avoid familiar opponents from colliding early, Iowa coach Lisa Bludder was curious to see the Wildcats as a potential opponent. "I must say, I was a bit surprised by the Kansas State placement," she said. "A lot of familiar faces, but I think that's okay. That's not a bad thing." Looming on the other side of the regional is defending champion LSU, who ended Iowa's magical season a year ago in the championship. The Tigers forced Clark to beat them from distance last season in Dallas, and even though she made 8 triples, the inability to get into the paint prevented her from drawing fouls or collapsing the defense to involve her teammates. It's the same strategy Kansas State has used to great effect. "I know we didn't beat LSU," Clark said. "But a lot of those teams, we have a win versus Kansas State, we have a win versus Colorado, we have a win versus Louisville, we beat Drake. So you can almost use that to your advantage at times and have confidence going into those games. And even if number 3 seed LSU bows out early, perhaps the most talented roster outside of Columbia, South Carolina, stands in the Hawkeyes. Way number 2 seed UCLA has one of the best bigs in the country in Lauren Betts, the type of center who will force Lisa Bludder to play more Sharon Goodman and Addison O'Grady, at the expense of the more wiry Hannah Stulk. The Bruins also have a dynamic perimeter defender in Charisma Osborne who will step up to the challenge of containing Clark. Beyond those 2 leading scorers, UCLA is teaming with more scoring threats, including Kiki Rice, London Jones, Gabriela Yaquez, and Angela Dugalik. Clark electing to enter the WNBA draft after this season means she won't get to face the Bruins as a member of the Big Ten, but this could be a fun appetizer for a future conference rivalry. Last season, the dominoes fell favorably for Iowa to advance to the Final Four as number 1 Stanford and number 4 Texas lost on their home courts, failing to make it to the second weekend and clearing the region for the Hawkeyes. This time around, Iowa will need a lot more help. The Hawkeyes are the number 1 seed for a reason and will be favored each time they take the court until Cleveland. But they'll have to knock down quite a few heavyweights to accomplish their ultimate goal.